I'm trying to scarf down an apple before I start. As always, last minute. Right on time, 5:03. Welcome, everyone. Love that one eye. One eye. Hello from Georgia. Well, hello from Washington. And hello all you fish nerds. Jamie, what's going on, buddy? Jamie is here. Man, I really want to finish this apple, but probably nothing more annoying than listening to a guy crunch on a live stream when we're supposed to be talking about fish. Melted all my vowels, ramphonic. That's the worst. I've discovered a new favorite plant. Hold on, I need a napkin. All right. I was chowing so fast, I was drooling and spitting everywhere. And my thing's empty. Put that down there. What do you think? Black raspberry or tropical punch? Black raspberry. Raspberry. All right, I swear I'm ready, prepared, ready to rock. Don't forget to hit that link for all you lurkers and everyone rewatching. Link to Dan's Fish, 10% off your first order. Let's just head over there. Actually, yeah, let's just head on over to Dan's Fish because I want to show you the fish of the week already. We're going to start it out right away because there's not a lot left and they're pretty cheap. Pretty inexpensive. Let me pull up Firefox here. And we are looking at the yellow, where is it? They're on sale. The yellow Phantom Tetra. FSO Bricon Roseus. $3.99. This is a somewhat rare version of the Phantom. We all know about Black Phantom and Red Phantom. Don't ask me why it's called the Yellow Phantom. There's just maybe a couple pixels of yellow there. But this is one of those fish that looks really good when you get a nice school of them. And at only $4 each, you can definitely get a nice school. Get all 20 of them. Get all 20 of them. Put them in a 55 or a 75, even a 40. And you're going to have a good time. Trust me. Love the L236. Kind of pricey, though. Yeah. Does Dan have any of those? Let's take a look. What am I looking for? Plecos. Plecos. Here we go. There we go. I thought he did. If I was smart, I would just search for... Oh, yeah, right here. The Holy Grail. Of course, you don't have to have the white one. You can get just the regular one for half the price. But yeah, this is all the rage lately. All the rage. Dan has some cool new fish. I agree. I agree. View of the newest arrivals. I am so proud of that because that was my idea. And I don't get a lot of good ideas. So when I do, I get pretty excited. The good old-fashioned cherry barb. I mean, it's a bummer that these freshwater gobies sold out so fast because they're pretty amazing. The banded darter tetra. I have these. Chericidium fasciatum. Very, very cool. I use these as dithers. If you saw my last video, you know I use these for... I'm using them for dithers for some Corridoras. The Coletti tetra. Really, really cool. Harvested from nature. That's a really PC way to say wild caught. I love it. Harvested from nature. Look at the Pantazona barbs. $3.99. Oh, there's only 4 left. Someone should scoop those up. And of course, I love the Williams Creek. Melanotania species Williams Creek. I don't even know if can you guys see that. Oh yeah, you can. Lots of cool fish. Head on over there. Click the link. Get 10% off your first order. If you've already ordered, too bad. Go buy some awesome fish anyways. Dwarf chain loach. I actually have a video about those coming out pretty soon. And yeah, there you go. Check it out. Do a giveaway for the L236s. If you want to donate some L236s, I will gladly do a new or do a giveaway. So if you're offering, it sounds like you're offering. So there are some new Oscars as well. A new species of Oscars just described last year. Pretty Pretty interesting. Where are they at, though? Well, that's not gonna be there. Yeah, check out these. I mean, I'm not a big Oscar guy, but let's go back and take a look at it. Oops. Check out this Oscar. Let's go back all the way back up. Go here. Then we want to go to here and right here. I'd be curious what this looks like as an adult, because it's kind of... This looks smaller. This looks a little bigger. Like, how much of the yellow are they going to lose? Is there anyone keeping these as adults? Jay, you read my mind, my friend. How do those Oscars look as adults, though? Zen Ginger says, the dwarf chain loaches are easily one of my favorite absolute fishes. I agree. Curtis says, the slate cories look pretty cool. I love the corridor's con color. You do have to feed them. I'm going to be honest. You have to feed them pretty well to get the best colors out of them. If you're given your con color cories... I did it again. Good thing this is not open yet, because I've already knocked it over twice. If you're putting your slate cories in less than perfect conditions, they don't look good at all. They are definitely one that likes and will appreciate good food, good water quality, to really get the orange, that like bronze orange color in their fins. Only a handful of pictures online. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Someone should buy them and grow them out. It could, what? It takes like a month to grow Oscars out. I feel like that's right up Danikin's alley. Like, Kenny, you should be buying those. I'm probably the only one that didn't know that coolie loaches bury themselves in the gravel. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I thought I only had one left, but when cleaning my tank, I saw both of them. Watched it nosedive into the gravel. Like, it's even cooler to see it in sand. Like, they just dart in and out of the sand. It's really awesome to watch. Mr. B CPD says, I just pulled a bunch of Williams Creek rainbow fish eggs from my mops a few minutes ago. That is awesome. That is awesome. I don't have mops, but I did put in a bunch of moss in with my Chilothrina blaheri, and hoping I can get some eggs in the moss. We'll see. I'll probably have to put a mop in there because the moss does not float, right? It's obviously sinks, so mop's probably better. But I'm gonna see. I'm gonna try it out. I'm still waiting on the corridors offer you gave me, Bob. Once they spawn, I think that offer expired because I don't remember what it was. I don't remember. You'll have to pull it up in a live stream and like link it to me because I don't even know what you're talking about. Now I will be selling cories for a lot cheaper to members. That's going to be one of the members' perks. But I don't exactly remember what my offer to you was. Kind of weird. Fish Fam link. That's the place. Maybe Zenny can link. Give us the Fish Fam link. The place to be if you want more fish content. Some good water. All right, so what's new for me in the fish room? Lots of new stuff. I'm looking over here because I got my Empire gudgeons swimming around in this tank over here now. I've got my baby whale cruising around in there with them. And some new tetras that are pretty awesome that I need to show you. And I wish I would have kept them up when I was showing the members earlier. But I don't even want to try to pronounce these because closed captioning can really screw me if I try to pronounce this. So let's just take a look. Hyphessa Brycon, you see it. I'm not going to try to pronounce it because I don't want to get banned. But a really cool little tetra. I am so happy with these little guys. I want to order more. They are really small, right around like 1 inch. They're probably Ember Tetra size. Right around there. And they just have the coolest little white and black fins you've ever seen. Just really a gnarly looking fish. I love them. I need more. Gonna get more. So yeah, so I got some of these. What else did I get? I got Nanachromis consort. No, Paralis, the baby whale, a Mormarid. Yes, that's the baby whale, and he loves to hide. Definitely a nocturnal fish, from what I can see so far. He's either hiding in the plants or hiding under the sponge filter. So yeah, anyways, Nanachromis Paralis. What else? I feel like there's more. Totally drawn a blank. I did get some more orange laser cories to kind of up my school of those. Zebra Acaras. I got a male-female pair of Zebra Acara. What else did I get? I'm sure there's more that I'm forgetting. Oh, I got 5 red-eye red-tail puffers. Pretty excited about that. They're about that big. So far, no aggression. They're in a community tank as well, and they actually cruise around together, and they don't bother any of the other fish. Absolutely zero aggression from them. So pretty happy about that. And that could be just because they're still really small. I mean, once they're, you know, big, they might get aggressive when they're adults, but so far nothing. Ken says, wishing I had Corey's right now. The Rapashi I made didn't set right. And tile of the day? What? That's got to be a typo. Don't put it unless fully properly set, because it is now everywhere. Wait. And I don't know. Moral of the story, it didn't set right. Will the Acara breed? If they do, Matt, you'll be first on the list. I'm not actively trying to breed them, but I most certainly will. Absolutely. I do know of someone in Seattle that is breeding them, so if I do have trouble getting them to breed, I can kind of reach out and you know, ask for some tips and tricks. Tip of the day. I guess that's painfully obvious. Tip of the day. Don't put it in unless it's fully properly set. Yeah, tip of the day. That just makes way too much sense for me to get it. Way too much sense. So that's it for fish. That's all the new fish I got last week. More new fish to come in the next couple weeks, but nothing. I don't think I'm getting anything this week, and nothing next week, but maybe the week after. Unless I can find some more of these tetras. That'll be the only new fish for a while. You said you would send me some Corridoras, and if they survive with the puffer. Oh yeah, you said you would. Oh right. Apps, yeah. If they survive with the puffer, I would pay for them. If they don't, they would be free. That is true. I did say that. Now I remember. I'll forget again, but I do remember. Yes, confidence is very high that your Corys, any Corys, will do just fine with spotted Congo puffers. Threadfin Acaras are another favorite of mine. Acaras are just so water puppy-esque, like goldfish. They like to interact with you. I really like the yellow Acara as well. I think Dan had some. He might still have some. I'm not sure. I'm sure he does. Dan's fish. I'm just curious now. Acara. Yeah, the yellow Acara. Harvested from nature. Dwarf Acara as well. Interesting. I really like the yellow Acaras. I mean, obviously, like the zebras, the Atticas. Those, I mean, obviously, those are like number one. But the yellows are pretty cool too. Do you still have the red-eye puffer? I have 5 of them. The red-eye red-tail puffers, I have 5. Mikey's Fish Tank says, Bob, I built a 125-gallon chick raising tank. That is funny because I have my chicks in a 90-gallon raising out. What's vibrating? You should not be on. I turned you off like an hour ago. What the heck? Doc is here. Gotta go later on. Good luck, Kenny E. Hopefully the Aquarium will breed. In a wheelchair, but I'm going through all my tanks, 5 of them, downsized, but I do have room for a nice cichlid. There you go. Abinash says, currently I have 6 bronze Cory with 4 Congo spotted puffers. Yes, absolutely. Like, I can't imagine there ever being an issue with Corys and Congo spotted puffers. I mean, I had Corys with my Mabu puffer, and the only problem is when they were both going for clams at the same time, sometimes there'd be an incident, a mistaken chomp on a Cory. So I had to take him out, but it was never aggression. Like, no problemo. Is there anywhere to buy the red-eye red-tail puffer right now? Dan has been out since you mentioned them. They were briefly at a wholesaler about 3 weeks ago. They're already out. I'm sure they got snatched up. Did they buy any online retailers? I don't know. I am the worst to ask where to buy stuff since I get wholesale. Like, that's pretty much like 99% of where I buy my stuff. So I don't really pay attention to stocking levels. You basically just have to go like every week and check like every single place. And I don't think Dan is getting those back in stock because for some reason, what? Hope you guys didn't hear that. For some reason they were aggressive when Dan had them. Let me check. I'll check a few places that I know that might have them, but offhand, oh, come on now. Here we go. Let's just search for puffer. So they don't have any puffers in stock, so that's not going to do it. I actually did get a couple new wholesale lists today. What is going on here? This has got to stop. I don't know what is causing this pop-up, but well, I do know what's causing it. I just don't know why it's popping up. No. Huh. If that happens again, I'm going to be not a happy camper. Now, the only puffers that I have available from all my wholesalers are just hairy and dwarf puffers right now. Actually, wait. I think there was another one. And the ones I have are about the same size as the ones that Dan had. And again, no aggression. So, now these 5 have been together for a very long time. They're long-term captives. And again, that probably plays a lot into it as well. No, just pea puffers. Pea puffers and hairy puffers. It's the only thing I got on my lists. Christopher with the $10 super chat asking me a question I'm probably not going to be able to answer. Is Ebo fish food only for plecos or can Corys eat it as well? I will say it is for any fish. If not, what do you recommend for Cory cats? And did you Google the Manhula pothos? I did actually Google it. 100% Googled it. And it does kind of look like the Pothos Enjoy. Almost identical. To the point where it's like, I don't think I could ever pay the price difference because they're so similar. Like Enjoy is one of the cheapest pothos out there, and if it looks almost identical to one that's more rare, I don't know. Anyways, but back to your fish food question. Corridors can absolutely eat it. A lot of these foods that are branded for a type of fish can be eaten by everything. I'm going to probably exaggerate, but I feel like 90% of the food that's branded to specific fish is just regular fish food. Like there's really, you might have, oh, this has 2% more protein in it or 3% more fat. There might be small differences, a little rearranging of the ingredients, but let's be real. It's mostly just branding things. That being said, I've never used Ebo fish food, and I know it's kind of making the rounds right now. It seems like every year, every 6 months to a year, there's like some new fish food making the rounds. We'll see if it has staying power. I haven't tried it yet, so I'm not sure, but I have heard good things about it. So I'd be interested to try it, but I don't know. At this point, I've had such good luck with Extreme. It would take a lot for me to switch. Like I already have such a variety between live. Actually, I killed my lives. So the only live foods I have right now are my red worms, red wigglers. But between that, frozen, freeze-dried, Repashy, Extreme, like I can barely go through my fish food fast enough before it goes stale. So to add like another thing in the mix, I don't know, it would have to be really special. So I mean, we'll see. I'd be interested to try it though. Thanks for the info. I've been looking for months. Yeah, I'm not sure, Jay, if it's like a seasonal thing. But when I saw them on the list 3 weeks ago, that's the first time I've ever seen them on a wholesale list. So Regina Phalange says my spotted Congo puffer hasn't even eaten the leftover cherry shrimp in his tank. Like, yeah. And Christopher, thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. I hope that helped you out. What do you recommend for Cory cats? It depends. Like, if I'm trying to spawn them, then I'm gonna go really fatty, really protein heavy. So worms, whether live or frozen, Repashy. If you watch I did a video on Repashy 2 videos ago. That's kind of like my secret weapon for Corridoras, because it's so much protein and so much fat. You can. It's pretty easy to get them to spawn with that. Unfortunately, I'm still not harvesting eggs. I have very minimal infrastructure for eggs right now. So I do have my Aspidoras fry growing out, and that's about it right now. And Curtis Schindler with the $1 super chat. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Silver Creek Aquatics, how's it going? Regina Phalange says Akari koi food and Staple and Gold are almost identical. Excel Gold cost more. Well, it is in the fancier packaging, so the packaging is a bit shinier, so of course it's going to be a little bit more expensive. It's like Seachem, right? They have 2 different lines of fertilizers that are basically identical, except one costs more because it's not sold online. It's specialized because it's only sold in fish stores. They're not allowed to sell it online, so it costs more money, but it's the same stuff. Add scuds to the Congo puffer tank. That's what finally stopped my Amazon puffers from glass surfing. I just think every spotted Congo puffer I've ever seen glass surfs, especially when they're new to the tank. I think it's just something they do. The scuds could be maybe having like a dither fish effect where it makes them feel more secure. Like, oh, if nothing's eating the scuds, nothing's gonna eat me. I don't know, but I don't know that I've ever had a puffer that didn't glass surf. Like, I've never, of all the puffers I've had, at one point or another, they're glass surfing for sure. The only food my fish wouldn't eat is New Life Spectrum. Pricey, ended up tossing it out. Yeah, I used to really like New Life Spectrum. This was probably like 5 years ago, and I don't know if they changed the formula, but something definitely changed, and it was, what was it, like 4 years ago? I think like 2018 or 2019. Like the price on it just skyrocketed, and whatever they did, whatever change they did, whatever ingredients they changed to make it more expensive, that's when my fish stopped loving New Life Spectrum. That's kind of when I stopped buying it. But again, it kind of depends on the fish. Like, there's people that swear by New Life Spectrum. Puffers are looking at their reflections. Zen Mama, is that your new name? Zenny? Zen Mama? Thanks for the info. I've been looking for months. Yeah, Jay. You're probably gonna have to keep looking for months, because I know, like I said, Dan's not bringing them in again. Maybe maybe the wet spot might get them eventually. I just don't know. I got the medicated New Life Spectrum and had to use Garlic Guard, and they still only ate it after 3 days of not eating. So they were super hungry. Yeah, something changed. They did something. I remember, like, I still remember being angry about the price increase, because it was significant. It wasn't like, oh, it's $1 more. It's like, oh, it's like $3 or $4 more. And it's like, what? What is going on here? Anyways, yeah, I haven't dabbled in New Life Spectrum in a long time. It's just one of those things. I found something that works for me, so it works for me, it works for my fish, and that's what I'm sticking with. Caitlin says, I think mine plays with his twin in the glass. He also glass surfs when he's doing the feed me dance. That's pretty typical for all fish, though, right? Feed me. I do that too. I get kicked out of places because I just surf back and forth outside the door, looking in. Let's see. All right. Sage, hello. Good to see you. I just call her that because she's a fish mom and here in my home state. All right. New Local Austin says, one of my goldfish is upset that duckweed was today. That's the only thing I feed my goldfish. They're outside in a tub, and when I take my net and I surf the top of my water, get all the duckweed out, it goes right out to the goldfish. They don't like it. It just sits there. I think it just dies out there. Rocky Miles says, got a honey gourami a week ago. I never see him eat, but the poop is 24/7. Is that normal? Well, he's eating something then. Like, he's got to be getting some substance if he's pooping out substance. That's just physics, man. Do you have algae? He could be chomping on algae. Although they're not known to be algae eaters, there's always like little micro crustaceans. Crustaceans? What? You know what I mean. There's always little micro crustaceans in the algae, so it could be just be, eating that stuff. You see this a lot with plecos, right? You see a lot of meat-eating plecos like rasping on algae, and this is where people say, "Oh, plecos are algae eaters." Well, they're not necessarily eating the algae. They're going after all the micro crustaceans. What is wrong with me? That are in the algae. It's the return of the red co-op hat. Oh yeah, it is. I didn't even notice I was wearing that. All right. Yeah, I had to break it out. It was getting really dusty, so I had to dust it off. And yeah, I figured it was time. And RJL makes a really good point that fish, like everything, like a varied diet. So I just try to keep a lot of different type of foods. I mean, I go through food really fast, so always something different. I usually don't feed the same thing twice from day to day. As they say, variety is the spice of life. All right, so what else we got going on here? Don't make me start talking about reptiles around here. I know how some people really hate that. But I will start talking about my new reptiles. Be nice if you could put a video of all dwarf species of rainbow fish suitable for a 20 long. I don't know about that one, Johnny. Johnny Best, I was just reading your comment, and there you are. Let's see. 20 long. I don't know. Honestly, if I'm being absolutely honest, Johnny, I don't know that there's anything out of Pseudomagills that I would keep in a 20 long. Okay, I take that back. I would keep Melanotania pygmaeus in a 20 long. Outside of that, long term, I wouldn't even do like praecox in a 20 long. I've done it, and when they get full, like a full 3.5 inches, and they get the really tall body, they just look cramped in a 20 long. The only thing I would do is either the pygmy rainbow fish or Pseudomagills. How big are my Empire gudgeons? How many? I only have 2 males. That's it. They're full grown, full grown, but only 2 males, and they're super friendly. In a community tank, lots of tetras, cories, and yeah, they just kind of mope around. Not mopes. Mope's not the right word. Linger. They're lingerers. They just kind of linger around the tank. What about dwarf rainbows in a 20 long? I can't do it. I can't do the praecox. I get it. Like, you can do praecox in a 20 long for a long time, but once they're full grown and they got the big foreheads like rainbows get, they, like I said, they just look really cramped. Because what, a 20 long is like 10 inches, few inches of substrate, plants, hardscape. They just look cramped. Like, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I had to take them out. Much better for like a 29 or 30 gallon, you know, one of the 3-foot tanks. Much better. Don't tease us. What kind of new reptiles did you get? So I got Schneider's skinks. I've got emerald tree skinks, an Argentine tegu, and a Caiman lizard added to the fish room last week. So those are the new additions in the reptile side, in the reptile family. Angel says, hello everyone, just checking in. Yeah, my kid's concert. Leave a like, people. Yeah, and there's this new fancy button here that you can, you know, just feel free to spam this thing. At least it's new for me. I'm spamming it. Is Melanotania Australia a rare? I've never heard of that one. Melanotania Australia. If you're just talking about the regular old Australian rainbow fish, it is certainly not rare. Yeah, just the regular. Oh, Australis, duh. Just the regular rainbow fish, or regular Australian rainbow fish, not rare at all. There's different collection points that give you different colors, but definitely not rare. They're the most inexpensive rainbow fish to buy. Sometimes you can get them at PetSmart on sale for when they have like their dollar fish sale. There you can get them for like $1. That's where I got mine. Weather will be warming up this weekend near 100 degrees during the day, but still 50 and 60s at night, so I'm hesitant to put anything out in the outdoor ponds and tanks still. That's some pretty extreme fluctuations, but well, depending on the size of your pond, or tub, it might be fine, especially if you can shade it. You're gonna have to build a big enclosure for the tegu and the Caiman lizard. I know, I'm so excited. They're already being planned out as we speak. The Caiman's already really big, like big, not full grown, but I would say definitely in the sub-adult category. And the tegu is small. Tegu's just a baby. She's just a little girl, a little baby girl. But the Caiman was way bigger than I thought it was gonna be. So yeah, there's gonna be some big enclosures being made, and also some outdoor enclosures. Because it's warm enough now that they can already go outside. It's going to be in the mid-80s here. Empire Gudgeons are impossible to breed anyways. I realize that, but still, I still like to get male-female. Because you never know, right? Like my Pandagara spawned. Like you would never, like, nobody's spawning those things, but mine did. So yeah, you know, I mean, maybe you just get lucky. Put 30 Radinocentrus eggs in a container. A medium-sized pond snail crawled in the same day. I ended up with about 8 eggs. Yeah. Yeah, I had that happen with my Aspidoris. Aspidoris rochi. I did end up with a snail in there that got a few. It was literally on the clutch of eggs when I saw it. And I was like, ugh. An actual Caiman, aren't they mini alligators? No, so not a Caiman alligator, a Caiman lizard. Way different animal. I'll show you. I shall show you. Not a Caiman alligator, a Caiman lizard. Go to images, hop on over to Firefox. So there's not really a great picture here. But, yeah, these guys here. I mean, they look like mini alligators. Little mini crocodiles. But they're only going to get in that 3.5 foot range. And they are lazy. Like, this is a perfect picture of a Caiman lizard. Because this is what they do all day long. They get up on their branch and just hang out. And when they're not on their branch, they're swimming. That's what makes them the best. They love to swim, so yeah, it's going to be a gigantic paludarium with fish, obviously. And yeah, very excited. Very excited about this. Supposed to hit 90 next week. Yeah, I see temperatures in the 86 next week. Mid 80s. It's going to be nice. Especially because I'm by the coast, so there's always it may be like 85, 90 degrees, but there's always a nice breeze. Always a nice breeze going here. Unfortunately, I've been tuned out to your channel for a couple months. Was able to catch a live, and I hear Caiman lizard. That's a dream animal. Welcome back. Dane the Duckweed Elbows. Dane at Duckweed Elbows. I like that. How big did I get? Yeah, about 3.5, maybe 4 feet if it's a male. But most of it's tail. Like, as most lizard, it's the tail. What is the diet? So, what's interesting is that most Caiman lizards, and I mean most, I mean like 99%, eat snails. So they're really heavy on snails, which is why I've generally shied away from them. But I've got the one that does not eat snails. Only eats tilapia. Frozen tilapia. That's the go-to for the Caiman lizard. This one specific. Again, 99.9% of the time they need a snail diet. They only eat snails. And I've got so many terrestrial snails. Like, they're such a nuisance around here. So I was really like, oh, I could do it. I could feed them. Be really cheap. And, nope. Get the one that eats tilapia. Will it go after live fish? I don't think so. Like, it's literally that lazy. I don't think it would put in the effort. But I'm probably going to be building the paludarium on this wall right here. I think. Not 100% sure, but it might be going in right where I'm sitting right now. When measuring a fish length, do you include the excluse of the tail fin and the measurement? The only thing I would never include is if there was like a lyre tail. I would never add. So, like a lot of the Lake Tanganyikans that have lyre tails, for instance, like, I mean, it's 7 inches without the lyre tail. It could be like 2 feet with the lyre. I mean, some of those things have gigantic lyre tails. I would never include the lyre tail, but outside of that, just I would measure the entire thing. If I had the option of eating snails or tilapia, I would pick that too. Yeah, I mean, that's true, because snails and clams and all those things are just disgusting. Disgusting. What got you interested more in Corydoras more than ever? So I've always loved Corydoras. I've just always loved rainbow fish more. And I think it was just time for a change. Like, I've been doing rainbow fish for so long. I've kept so many different species. I just wanted to do something different. And so when I think about the fish I love the most, it was always rainbow fish, Corydoras, plecos, and apistos. Like, those are the four. I mean, really any dwarf cichlid, but mostly apistos. So I do have a couple species of apistos currently. Yeah, so I mean, I've done a lot of plecos, obviously a ton of rainbows, and like, I've had a decent amount of species of Corydoras, but never in the same numbers as like rainbow fish or pleco. Like, I've kept way more plecos than I have Corydoras. So it was just trying something new, and then finding out how terrible the supply chain is for Corydoras just made me want to do it even more. Like, really just try to get some healthy species out there. I thought you were supposed to not include the tails or whiskers. Well, to be fair, whiskers go sideways, so I wouldn't include that, right? I don't know why I just snorted. If you're talking like Corydoras, how the snout goes down and the little barbells, like, I wouldn't measure the barbells, because let's be honest, what is like a 1/16 of an inch? Who cares? And I've never been one for exact measurements anyways. Are Caiman lizards piscivores? Kind of. Well, I guess yes, technically. But yeah, basically, like reptiles are snout to vent. I do fish all the way, the whole McGillicuddy. And you know what? If you don't like it, you don't like it. Measure a fish the way you want to measure them. I don't know that there's like an industry standard. Maybe like for fishermen, there's some kind of industry standard. But I've never gone like snout to vent on fish, because that's just ridiculous. He built a huge enclosure in his basement. What? Oh, a member of our local club has a Caiman. Yeah, I've got a follower that has, I think, 2 or 3 Caimans in a gigantic enclosure. At least 2, maybe 3. But I think the most important thing is having a large area to swim, because they really are like alligators and crocodiles. Like, they're way more active in water, and they usually only come out of water when they're basking. So it's way more important, in my opinion, to have a larger swim area than a land area. What is going on here? There we go. Jennifer, do you live near Pismo? I do, and you're right about that. Wait. Pismo chowder, the best? I have no idea what Pismo chowder is. JT has a Caiman gator. I don't know who JT is. But I would never advocate for anyone keeping alligators or crocodiles. That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Snout to tip of the tail with the tail pinched in kayak bass tournaments. There you go. That's basically how I do it. I mean, I don't pinch their tails, but I just guesstimate. Just a guesstimate, but yeah. I just know the reptile people really don't like to include the tail because, I mean, look at like the grass lizard, the long-tailed grass lizard. Like that thing's 3 inches vent to snout, but like at least a foot of tail in addition to that. Bob, Pismo Beach, California. Clam chowder. I do like clam chowder. That's about the only time I will ever eat clam is when it's clam chowder. But I will say I do like salmon chowder way better. What do the dogs think about the new inhabitants? So the dogs don't really come in this area anymore. They are now like full time at my house, and I did have my chicks. Raising up my chickens in a Rubbermaid tote, and that was interesting. They just sat there and stared at them because they can all. It's like a 100 or 150 gallon Rubbermaid tote, and they're all tall enough to just look right in there, and they would just stare at the little chicks. And if it was quiet and like the dogs are like sleeping and laying in their various areas, and the chicks started going crazy, because sometimes they go crazy. The dogs will just get up and just run right over and stick their heads in there and they're like, what's going on? What's going on in here? And the reason I'm raising them up in my house is because I want the dogs to learn that they're not food. So hopefully that strategy works. So far, like they haven't tried to jump into the tub and get them, but they're very interested in them. They're very, very interested. And I take the chicks out and let them like sniff them and, you know, make sure they don't try to bite them or anything like that. So just a little bit of training, which is why my chickens are in my house. I kind of feel like friends. Maybe I need a duck, maybe a little duck to grow out in there too. I was told for listing fish size, that's how they did it, to the end of the spine, but no tail. I'm not going to argue though. I'm sure some do it differently. Yeah, I've never heard that before. Now, are you talking like online sellers? Because I don't think I've ever seen an online seller not include the tail. If anything, I shouldn't say most, but a lot of online sellers overestimate the size of their fish. So they're definitely not doing it that way. I always try to underestimate. If I'm sending you a 2-inch fish, I'm going to list it as a 1-inch fish. Just because I don't need that kind of anger coming my way. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. There is a good chance, though, that some of the reptiles might end up in my house. We'll see. We'll see. The tap house is a must. Man. I will say, when I was in Sacramento a couple weeks ago, it was terrible. No desire to go back, except for the fish. Like, the fish people were awesome. But I will say, the one thing, there was a ton of food everywhere, and good food. Like here, it's all chain crap. It's all, you have like 100 different versions of Applebee's here. It's awful. But when I was in Sacramento, there was literally like one strip mall that had 3 independent pizza places. Like, there's so much food there. I don't understand. I don't understand how 3 pizza places can survive in the same complex. But it was crazy. There was so much food. and it was good. Like everything I ate was good. So other than that, though, not much of a fan of Sacramento. No, thank you. Plus, the 3 days I was there, it was like 100 degrees out, and then as soon as I left, it was down in the 50s. Leo knows. I don't know if he's here, but man, it was like the day before I got there, it was like 70, and then the day I got there, it was like 90. Then it was 95, 95, and then the next day it was like 60. I'm like, thanks. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Rocky Mouse says, I sold a dog ramp on Marketplace. The person who bought it got it for her ducks to go in a kid pool in their yard. That's awesome. Crapplebees is right. Oh, it's awful. I like Dan's give or take measurements. Yeah. That's the way it should be. Like, if there's one positive thing about, like, well, there's lots of positive things about FishTube and just the internet in general, is that just going back like 10 years ago and buying fish online was a nightmare. Like, nothing was what it was supposed to be. I remember I bought a Paracyprochromis, and the guy had them listed as like 1.5 inch, and they came in as like 3-day-old. All were dead, obviously, because you can't ship them that young. I was so mad, and that was like the norm back then. And if anything, like now that we can actually like call these people out, have some accountability, I would say it's way less of a problem than it used to be even 10 years ago. Came on the only hot weekend we've had so far. It was brutal. Like the AC in the room couldn't even keep up. It was terrible. I have the best sushi place, fresh and reasonable prices, 2 blocks from my house. Ugh, sushi is so gross, though. Scientists used snout length, SL length, standard length without snout length. I'm going to assume SL is snout. Standard length without tail. Tail length, total length with tail. Oh, TL, okay. SL, okay, never mind. I guess I should have read the whole comment first. 2 standards then, right? SL and TL. There you go. Sturge. Hey, I'm not sure what to do. I have 1 male, 2 female Epistos that... Oh my gosh, this stupid thing is like in the way. That surprise bred in a 75. Now it's theirs. They didn't eat the babies. Can I let them all live there? It's a gamble. However, in a tank that size... If are they the only ones in there? In a 75, now it's theirs. So I'm assuming that means it's their tank, like they're the only ones there. It's a possibility it could work out. There's enough room there that the female can chase off the other male and the other female and raise up her fry. If you can siphon them out when they're free swimming, I would recommend that if you have that option. If not, there is a good chance you might get a decent number of survivals in a tank that large. Jeff says, thanks for the stream, everyone. We'll finish up the replay. Thanks for coming, buddy. I appreciate it. Do Corys tolerate salt baths? So I actually have an entire video on just that subject. If you want to watch it, I would recommend it. But the answer is yes, but you don't want to treat Corys the same way you would other fish, right? You don't want it as concentrated. But I give all that info in the video. And I think in YouTube you can just search Corydora salt and it should come up like the first option. Leo with the $5 super chat says, so best setup for a trio of Episto Gold, Red McMaster High, either doing Flex 15 or 20 long. I would do 20 long. Got 2 Episto cases from the co-op. I would say 20 long by far. Like the Flex 15 is not even in a close second, my friend. 20 long all day long. The females kind of hate each other, but the male seems to just be floating back and forth, being cool. Yeah, so normally post-spawn, the female will kill off the male if they're in too small of an enclosure. That's why I say I think you'll be okay in a 75, because the male's going to have tons of room to get away from the female. But a lot of times, if you were to breed them in like a 10-gallon tank, you do have a pretty good possibility of the female killing off the male after the spawn. There you go. Treating Corydoras with salt. It's been 5 weeks. The babies are almost real fish now. Oh yeah. Then you're golden, dude. You're more than fine. Yeah, once they get like quarter inch, if they make it to like quarter inch size and larger, yeah, a half inch, like you're golden. You got nothing left to worry about. You don't have anything to worry about until those try to start spawning, and then you should probably start rehoming. I saw it, but I didn't want to be sure about salt baths. Oh, so you mean salt bath specifically? I would do it, but again, at just a less concentrated rate. Sorry, I misunderstood. And I would definitely caution on less. Like, if you're like, well, maybe I only do a half a teaspoon. Maybe I would do a little less. Like, whatever you think. Like, I don't want to tell you because I don't want to kill your fish. But depending on how serious the problem is, I would absolutely do it myself. So should be good placing each cave on the opposite. I hate this stupid button. It's like right in the way. Why is it there? Does anyone else little heart thing that you can click? Is that like right in your chat? It is for me, and it makes it so I can't read the whole comment. Yeah, who's ever spamming that? Like, is that in the way of the... Like, it's so annoying. So should be good placing each cave the opposite something direction in the tank, I assume. And would all three do good together or separate once they pair up? You wouldn't even have to separate them once they pair up. I wouldn't be worried about separating them until or if they spawn, and then I would just watch them closely. I do know of someone who community bred epistos in 20 talls. However, that person, it was there like every single day, all day in the fish room, was able to, you know, fix anything that might have come up, and they obviously have way more experience than even I did. Like, so I would never try that, but can it be done? Yes. Again, for like your level of fish keeping, my level of fish keeping, I would probably remove after the spawn, and then add them back once the fry are gone. I don't have nor see emoticons. Do you not even see them when they pop up? I wonder if it's on Apple. How do I get to my own stream here? Let's look. It's so annoying. Like, why can't they do anything right? Like, come on. How can, like, the second largest website in the world do everything just horribly wrong? Makes no sense. Okay, so I'm in my own stream. Yeah, it is. See? I don't know if you can see that heart right there, but it covers up the chat. Like, how stupid is that? That's so dumb. I don't get it. Now I'm getting, like, static. Oh, through my phone. Duh. I'm stupid. I'm just as dumb as YouTube, apparently. It's so annoying. It's Lucamo's koi with a fungus infection. She is not so bad, but the disease doesn't go away with anything. Would I try it? Yes. If you've tried other things unsuccessfully, then yeah, I would absolutely try it at that point. Zenginger says, I got a pistol babies in a 20 tall, just cockatoides though, and I didn't have to catch them, and only a few survived. So the question would be, wait, and only a few even survived to catch, and then the mom killed the dad. Yeah. Was it just the pair of Apistos, or did you have more than just the 2 Apistos? It blocks the last comment. At least I'm not the only one. That's so, like, there's so much room to put stuff on this chat. Like, the whole bottom section in the middle is empty. They couldn't have put it there. Like, give me a break, YouTube. Give me a freaking break. Takes them 10 years to roll out features that other websites been doing for 15 years, and then they do it wrong. They just completely befangle it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And on that note, don't forget to hit the like button. Let's get some likes going. Even 3. Hit the dislike. I don't even care. One or the other. One or the other. We only have 71 likes. Come on. Dislike or like. Either way. I'm okay. I'm okay with it. Just to know if it was going to turn into some kind of bloodbath. I mean, it has potential to, but if you're already at that stage, nah, you're good. This is why Twitch still exists. Did you see that there is a new streaming service? And of course, the name is not coming to me right now. That does 95%. So it's 95-5 revenue split. So the creator gets 95% of the revenue. That is insane. And they've already stole a bunch of streamers from Twitch. People with like millions of subscribers on Twitch have switched over. And if it's actually successful, that's going to be a game changer for creators. Because a 95% rev share is ridiculous. Like, that's insane. Kick. Yes, Kick. That's it. If they can make it last and they get up and running, that's gonna create some waves for sure. Especially now that Twitch is only doing 50% rev share, which blows my mind. The new streaming service is Kick. Yeah, I signed up for it, so I have it in my email, but I couldn't remember offhand. So I hope it's successful. Do I know anything about coral? Very, very minimal. Very minimal. I know you had a reef tank once. Yes, and I had green star polyps and pulsing xenia. That was it. Everything else I put in there died. So there you go. That's my salt experience. Green star polyps and a pulsing xenia. I would love to do another saltwater tank because I love inverts that much. And saltwater has some really cool shrimp, really cool crabs. And I have a 33-gallon long that I've just been holding on to just for that. I just haven't found a good place to put it. But once I do, I'll absolutely get back into salt. Until they get everyone there and then switch up the model and start taking more. It's kind of... I don't think they would do that. And even if they did, like, oh, sorry, we're not doing 95. You only get 90 now. Well, that's still way more than YouTube, way more than Twitch, way more than... I don't even know what else. Way more than Facebook. Like, Facebook's trash. Aqua Garden Zen, hello, hello. Connor, if you have a specific question, though, about coral, there's a lot of saltwater people in chat if you do have a question. Outside in Aquatics says, I just had my cockatoides spawn the other day. I checked the cave because I couldn't find the eggs anymore. Well, they were wigglers, and I sent them flying around the tank, and they all got eaten. Oh, yeah, you gotta be careful there. If I do a salt tank, I'm heading straight to the grocery store and coming home with a lobster. There you go. Oh, man. How are my Costae tetras doing? Well, I will look right over here and see that they are doing fantastic. I should probably try to spawn them, but of all the fish I have, they're not going to be very high up on the list to spawn. They can't keep it 95. I absolutely think they can keep it 95.5 because there's way more ways to monetize than just advertisement on my content, right? YouTube and Google get so much ad revenue outside of videos that it's ridiculous. So we'll see. I think they could. If they really build it around creators, I think they absolutely could keep it 95.5. Because you got to think, like, all this stuff, all the ads that you see on YouTube that are not even in videos, like, that's 100% going to Google. Same with Twitch, same with, you know, Facebook. I think it's funny that Facebook got caught lying about their numbers. Of course, I mean, of course they lie, but stopped and got a rotisserie chicken on the way home. Aren't those like the best value ever? They're like, I don't know how much they are where you're at, but they're like $6.99 for a full rotisserie chicken here. Doesn't get much better than that. 310 Aquatics says, added a new plant to the fish room, Hygrophila angustifolia. I came home today and at least 50% of the leaves were floating. Is this common for this plant? I would say yes, and even the worst news is that it may not rebound. Hopefully it does, but it may not. Video is just expensive though. Streaming video is no joke from a cost perspective. Yeah, but it's not nearly like it used to be, right? But it is. I mean, I get it. I get it. What would it be a good fish to keep with a lobster? Oscars. Oscars, because then it doesn't matter if it turns into food. Ooh. Ooh. Best rotisserie is the ones at Costco for $4.99. The Costco rotisserie chicken is the best. Everyone loves that Costco. Costco used to have the best pizza, and then for some reason, the Costco by me stopped making their pizzas when COVID happened. I don't know if there's like a pepperoni shortage or what, but no one else stopped making pizza. But man, those Costco pizzas, they were like $7. They were like this big. They were the best. Do I know where you could get Hygrophila brown? I'm not sure what that plant is. I've never heard of that before. Do you know where I could get... Oh, I just got one. Yes, I'm here on the East Coast. East Coast. East side of you. Spokane, Washington. I've been there many, many times. Costco grows their own chickens for rotisserie. Yeah. I also learned that they grow their own dogs, too, for the hot dogs, which I thought was interesting. They even have pre-portioned cornbread by rotisserie chickens at Kroger, and it's all delicious. Oh, man. Now we got to bring up the food. Yeah, the one up here, I cannot get pizza. I don't know if it's like Costco wide, but the one by me no longer does pizzas. Which is a very sad day. Because they would put like 500 pepperonis on their pizza. And that made it the best. Like, you couldn't even see the cheese. There was so much. What breed? Wiener dogs, obviously. Do you have a Kroger where you are? Yeah, and it's called a Fred Meyer's, and it is stupidly expensive. I recently seen that mollies can be acclimated to salt water. That is true. Have I been to the ice caves lately? No, last time I checked the road, the pass was still closed. But I haven't checked in a couple weeks. But yeah, that's usually my first hike of the season. But the pass was still closed. And yeah. That must be your store. Oh man, that really bums me out. Probably got some new store manager in there that was like, oh, the pizzas are a lost leader, so we're gonna get rid of them. Aqua Garden says Aqua Gardens, and they are outrageously expensive. Yes, Fred Meyer's, like just 15 years ago, was the cheapest grocery store in town, and now it's like the most bougiest. Like they think they're just the fanciest thing since sliced bread. They remodeled their stores, and now it's just insanely expensive. It is ridiculous. Ugh. Will mollies still breed in saltwater, though? That I don't know. I would assume so, but I don't know. I'm sure if Alec is still here, he would know, but I don't know. BJ Palmer says Kroger is always more expensive. They have a wider selection of some foods than Walmart. Not mine. Not mine, but mine's the smaller one though. I realize that like there's one down in Linwood that's freaking huge, but mine's pretty small. I mean it's gonna vary by town to town, but yeah, like I used to only shop at Fred Meyer exclusively because the food was so cheap and it was so good. Once they remodeled everything though, they're like we're Whole Foods now. We're gonna be $9.99 for a loaf of bread. Get out of here. I'm waiting to see if is anyone gonna chime in. Will mollies still breed in saltwater? That's a great question. Will mollies breed in saltwater? Breeding saltwater mollies. There are lots of reports of babies born to saltwater, but they could have been pregnant before adapting to the saltwater. All right. Interesting. Yeah, they have to pay for the remodel. Well, don't remodel then. If you're going to quadruple the price of your food, then don't remodel. Like, it was fine to begin with. I don't need, like, fancy crap on the walls. I don't need fancy lighting. I don't need doors that automatically open in the refrigerated section. Like, I can open the doors myself. I would much rather open the doors myself than pay extra so they open for me. Yes. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm gonna have to go with a no. I'm gonna have to. I don't know. You can adjust the salinity at 2 1,000ths per hour. This guy has a whole post about it, but I'm trying to see if he updated his post here. Yeah, but I'm gonna say no. Are convict cichlids mainly vegetarian or carnivore? I would say they're definitely carnivore. Just want to make sure before I make him my mini monster fish. Definitely carnivore. There's a YouTube video I saw where someone used a molly for cycling a tank, but it dropped a bunch of babies. Yeah, I do see a couple people saying that they spawn in saltwater, but they were obviously Praegers before going into the saltwater. I'm not sure how that would work out either. They want all that glamorous remodel to attract. This is not even like an upscale area. It's not like I'm in Bellevue, right? Or I don't even know, Totem Lake. I don't know. Like I could. It makes sense if they do that in a place like Bellevue, but way out here in the sticks, like, come on. Like, know your audience, right? Know your clientele. I feel like a Jedi walking along the coolers that have motion sensors that light up when walking past them. Yeah, but that's been around for a long time. Just the automatic doors is just like, it's too much. Or the little robots, like little robots that roam around and like sweep up and everything. Like, come on. I don't need to pay for that with my groceries. P. latipina lives everywhere from hard, fresh to full salt. There you go. I guess it would also depend on the specific species too. That makes sense. Do you know if apple snails gets bigger than ram's horn? Yes, definitely. 100%. Best way to catch plecos, put in a small piece of driftwood and let them cling to them and then lift up the wood. Yes, I do the same thing with my sponge filters because they chill like upside down on the sponge filter. You just slowly pick it up, put the net there, and they fall right in. Easy peasy. You could also just throw in like cucumbers or things like that, but yeah. I like when they're sleeping upside down and I think they're dead. I fall for it every time. Oh, man. I had mollies in a reef tank, leftover fish from the original brackish setup, and what? Is it fine that my cats drink from the quarantine tank? I mean, I'm sure that there's some type of bacteria that they might catch, but for the most part, it's probably like 99.99999% safe. Now, I will say the thing that really irks me about the new fancy Fred Meyer or Kroger's is the lack of cashiers. Like, you're going to charge me that much more in food and then make me bag and check out my own groceries. Like, I won't stand for that. I would pay more just to have baggers in there and real people checking me out. Like, I don't know. I would definitely pay more for that. Not for some fancy building, some fancy lattice on the wall or whatever. Nope. Give me a real checker, a real bagger, and I'm happy. I'll pay more. It's okay when they aren't dead until they die and you just think they're sleeping. That happened to me with a Corridor. This thing looked dead as a doornail, like, and it was just sitting in the same spot. Like, I walked in, I'm like, that looks dead, but I was doing something else, and so I just left it, and I came back like an hour later to finally check on it, and it was still just sitting there at like a weird angle in the corner, and I'm like, oh yeah, that thing's dead for sure. I mean, it even looked dead, like the scales, like everything. And then I go to, like, I stick the net in and it just goes whoop and it zooms off. And then a couple hours later, it's in the other corner at like a weird angle, just sitting there. And I'm like, something's up with this fish. And I watched it for a while, and it's now like a month later, and it's still there, still just hanging out, and it never moves unless I like put a net in there or do something. So I don't know what's going on with it, but I asked for an employee discount when prompted to do the self-checkout. It's so stupid. You mean persons as a cashier? I was thinking about cash machines. I mean, if they want to put cash machines in there that just spit out cash, I'm all for it. Is there an easy way to get snails out of the sponge filter before you clean it? I'm always bummed when the filter is crunchy. I don't know. Like maybe dropping in some cucumber to try to distract them, like maybe the night before. I don't know. I don't know how you get that. Like, you know, fill up your bucket with water and then clean it in a bucket of water, and as they fall out, like try to save them that way. I don't know. Until recently, our Kroger still offered to walk your basket out, but I feel like an ass when I'm fully capable. Plus, I'd feel the need to tip them just for pushing a cart to 40 feet. Okay, it says have to head to dinner, catch the rest on replay. UPS, you're living the dream is here. Hello, hello, hello. I will say, maybe I won't say. No, I won't say that. That'll just get me in trouble. Someone will get angry. I won't say that. Yeah, I mean, outside of like taking tweezers and like picking them out of the sponge, I think you just got to deal with the crunching. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I always have so many that I mean, I feel bad too about killing them, but it's like one of those accepted, like I just got to accept it and move on. Like I can't save them all. When I tear down a tank, I'm literally out there like picking out all the babies and throwing them in my tubs, and at least like I'm like, hey, at least you have a chance to survive out here. But at some point I just got to be like, okay, I've wasted like an hour picking out snails. I got to move on. Got to move on. And I know there's going to be the guys that are like, oh, they're just snails, just kill them and move on. Well, you know what? Some of us like living creatures and don't like killing things needlessly. You big weenie, they're just snails. Get the F out of here. Are there any rare snails? I think snails are cool, but I only have nearite. I know about the common ones, but I need something more fancy. That's a good question for chat. I've never really researched rare snails. I was introduced to some rare snails, and I don't even know if they're rare. I've just never heard of them. When I was in Sacramento, and I did the fish room tour, and I don't remember what they're called, so you have to wait for the video. I don't know if Matt's still here, but maybe we can get an update on when that video is coming out. No pressure at all, obviously. Or if he remembers what those snails were. I don't remember the name of them. But they were like a nearite snail, but they actually bred in fresh water. But I can't remember the name. Snails are puffer food. Talking about snails, can nearites eat bottom wafers? Yes, I want them for a 5-gallon with shrimp, but the tank is too clean. They'll eat algae wafers. Absolutely. Hope you're doing well. Did you just call me girly? Hope you're doing well, girly. 2024. All right. Sounds good. Do you at least remember the name of the snails? Because I don't. It just lost like 50 people. I don't know what happened. There's 176 people here. Now there's 125. What did I say that upset 50 people? Danubi? Was it Danubi? I don't think so. That doesn't... Not ringing any bells. My Mabu Puffer prolapsed, and I just couldn't save it. He actually lived for a really long time after he prolapsed, but that's basically a death sentence for any fish. It's not always about you, Bob. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. I only remember the giant mystery snail. I will get the name of those snails and report back next week. If you're here next week, ask again, and I'll get the name of them. I love just plain old, simple blue mystery snails. It is my stream, so yes, I do think it's all about me. Clearly all about me. All right, let me Google this. Danube. You're Danube. Let's see. Theodoxis snails. What do they look like here? I'm not sure. Maybe, but I don't see any here that look like them. And I don't know if there's different varieties of them. I really don't. All right. I will find out. I will message him and report back next week because it is that time. It is time to go. It is time to go. I'll give you $1 for that red co-op hat. You would need like 3 zeros behind that. This is the only one in existence. So I know what I got. I ain't selling it for $1. Plus, it's already got my sweat on the inside of it. That's gonna be like an extra 500 at least for my sweat. So good luck. Good luck. But anyways, thank you everyone for coming out. I appreciate it. If you didn't know, you're learning now. The streams are only an hour and a half now. No longer 2-hour streams, just an hour and a half. So sorry to cut it short if you didn't know that. But yep, we're going with an hour and a half now, probably for the rest of summer. And then maybe in the fall, we'll make it back to the 2 hours. But for now, that's it. I'm out of here. I hope you all have a great week. Thanks for coming and hanging out. I appreciate it. One last note. Orange rabbit snails are kind of cool, says Alec. There you go. Orange rabbit snails. And I'll leave you with that.